When we hear the term Good Samaritan, we often think of someone who is kind and helpful, someone who goes out of their way to assist others. This person might help those in need, even if they are complete strangers. Acts of kindness like these are what make our communities stronger and more compassionate. But did you know that in Jesus' time, the idea of a Good Samaritan was quite different? Back then, the term would have been surprising to many. Samaritans and Jewish people didn't get along. They had deep-seated animosities and viewed each other with suspicion and distrust. They saw each other as different, and these differences often led to conflict and division within their communities. So calling someone a Good Samaritan would have sounded strange back then. It was an unexpected and radical idea. Jesus used this difference to teach a powerful lesson about love and compassion. Through the parable of the Good Samaritan, he showed that true kindness knows no boundaries. He taught us that being a neighbour means looking beyond our differences and helping anyone in need, regardless of their background or beliefs. This timeless lesson continues to inspire acts of kindness and unity in our world today. One day, a lawyer approached Jesus with a question. This wasn't just any question, it was one that had been debated among scholars and religious leaders for generations. "What must I do to inherit eternal life?" he asked, his voice filled with both curiosity and a hint of challenge. Jesus, known for his wisdom and teaching prowess, responded not with an answer, but with another question. He asked the lawyer, "What is written in the law? How do you read it?" The lawyer, well versed in the scriptures, confidently replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbour as yourself." Jesus, impressed with the lawyer's answer, said, "You have answered correctly. Do this and you will live." But the lawyer, seeking to justify himself and perhaps to test Jesus further, asked another question, "And who is my neighbour?" This question was not uncommon in those times. Many people believed that their neighbours were only those who shared their beliefs, culture and ethnicity. The idea of loving someone different from oneself was challenging. Jesus, however, was about to redefine what it meant to be a neighbour in a way that would challenge and inspire for generations to come. Jesus, instead of giving a direct answer, told a story. A man was travelling from Jerusalem to Jericho. It was a dangerous road, known for robbers hiding in the hills. This man, sadly, wasn't careful. He travelled alone, making himself an easy target. As he journeyed, robbers attacked him. They beat him badly, stole his belongings, and left him lying helpless on the side of the road. The man was hurt and alone. A priest, on his way from the temple, saw the injured man. You might think that a holy man would stop and help, right? But this priest, seeing the man's state, chose to pass by on the other side of the road. Then came a Levite, another religious man. He also saw the injured man, but just like the priest, he walked by without offering any help. They were likely in a hurry to fulfill their religious duties, but their actions showed a lack of compassion. Next came a Samaritan, a man from a community disliked by the Jewish people. Now you might expect this man to ignore the injured traveller, but this Samaritan, seeing the man's pain, felt compassion. He stopped and tended to the man's wounds. He gently cleaned the cuts and bandaged them with care. Then he lifted the man onto his own animal and took him to an inn. He took care of him throughout the night, making sure he was safe and comfortable. Jesus then asked the lawyer, "Which of these three, do you think, was a neighbour to the man who fell into the hands of robbers?" The lawyer, unable to deny the truth, replied, "The one who showed him mercy." Jesus then gave the lawyer and us a simple yet profound instruction. Go and do likewise. You see, it wasn't about knowing who our neighbour was. It was about becoming a neighbour to anyone in need. The story of the Good Samaritan teaches us that love and compassion should extend to everyone. This timeless parable reminds us that our actions define us more than our words. It's easy to say we care, but it's our deeds that truly show our character. The Good Samaritan didn't just feel pity, he took action. He went out of his way to help someone in need, regardless of their background or circumstances. This is the essence of being a good neighbour. It doesn't matter who they are, where they come from, or what they believe. Our world is rich with diversity, and this diversity should be celebrated. Every person we meet has a unique story, a unique journey. By opening our hearts and minds, we can learn so much from one another. When we see someone in need, We should be like the Samaritan, ready to help, ready to show kindness, ready to be a neighbour. It's not always about grand gestures. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can make the biggest difference. A smile, a kind word, or a simple act of assistance can brighten someone's day and create a ripple effect of positivity. Think about the people around you. In our busy lives, it's easy to overlook those who might need a helping hand. But if we take a moment to observe, we might notice someone who could use our support. Is there someone you can help? Maybe it's a colleague who's overwhelmed with work, a friend going through a tough time, or a stranger who looks lost, a friend who needs a listening ear. Sometimes just being there for someone, offering a shoulder to lean on, can mean the world to them. A neighbour who needs help carrying groceries. Simple acts like these can strengthen the bonds within our communities and create a sense of belonging. Let's all try to be a little kinder, a little more compassionate, a little more like the Good Samaritan. By doing so, we can create a world where everyone feels valued and supported. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, contributes to a more loving and connected community.